Welcome back again to my YouTube channel, and I'm so glad to have you back and thank you for stopping by. Today, we're going to be diving into a very important topic that affects couples, many couples around the globe. How avoiding conflicts can impact marriage dynamics. How avoiding conflicts can impact marriage dynamics. Look, why it might be a good idea to keep peace temporarily, but often for not addressing that conflict create a lot of challenges, a lot of nuances, a lot of problems along the way. So that's what we'll be exploring today on this channel. But before I get started, let me give a big thanks to every new subscriber and the old subscriber on this my channel, everyone that hit the like buttons on their way in, or everyone that shared to those that might need the video that will be helpful for them, for all this one that leave a comment, which is very, very important. I value every comment, whether every comment is really relevant to me. They shape the way I think going forward. Thank you for all the comments. If you haven't responded to your comment, I will definitely do that. It's not intentional. I will do that as soon as possible. Every comment is relevant. I thank you all for helping me to build the channel, and I promise you I'm going to give you all I have. I'm going to be just and direct in this channel. Thank you all very much. So let's start it. Now, how avoiding conflict impacts marriage dynamics. Let me start from explaining what conflicts actually mean. Conflict. What is conflict in marriage? Conflict arises because of differences in opinion, because of differences in desire, or because of differences in value and needs in a relationship. That is how conflict is generated. That's how conflict is resulted. Now, how you handle that conflict will either break or make your marriage or relationship. Approach to that stay or destroy. That is why this topic is very, very important. In this topic, I'm going to be splitting it into three different sections. One, I'm going to be telling you the positive things about avoiding conflicts in marriage, the positive thing. And the second part, I'm going to be the most important part, is about the consequences of avoiding conflicts in marriage. The consequences, that's the most important part. And the third part is my general view about these topics as a whole. So stick around. Look, if you are in marriage today, or if you are in a relationship that one day call yourself husband and wife, if you are dating, or you are just curious on how the conflicts play in a relationship or marriage, just stick around and watch the video till the end. You will benefit from it. That I can promise you. Now let's move on. So first of all, what are the positive things a couple can achieve by avoiding conflicts in their marriage? What are the positive things? One, it can bring about, it can reduce stress. It can reduce stress because if all you talk about is avoiding every difficult conversation, avoiding anything that might upset one another, or avoiding anything that might cause difficult discussion, yeah, there will be no stress. Everywhere will be in peace. But what is the consequence of that? That is what this video is all about. Yeah, it reduces stress. And two, it kind of it creates harmony in a relationship. It creates harmony. What do I mean by harmony? When you only talk about something that doesn't upset each other, it creates increased the level of romance, it creates the level of interesting interaction because you don't upset each other. So you create that sense of harmony in the relationship. That is a positive thing. And the other one is you always focus, the couple always focus on the positive side of the relationship. Relationship is about positive and negative. But the good thing is about avoiding conflict that the couples focus on the positive side alone, and that is dangerous. If you only focus on the positive side and leave the negative side untouched or unaddressed, there will be a consequence for that. And if you look at the three things I've just given you, both it reduces stress, it creates harmony, and you only let couple focus on the good things only in the relationship. They are temporary. It's only for a short period of time. It's only for a short term. But marriage, by definition, is a lifetime commitment. It's medium and long term commitment. That's why they say, "Until death do us apart." So if what you are focusing on is always go in a short term, meaning you are making a big mistake in your marriage. That's why you have to listen to the consequences of avoiding conflicts in marriage. What are the consequences? One, it builds resentment. Yes, it builds resentment. It builds resentment over time. What does that mean, build resentment? Let me give you one example. When I was married, those that be following me know I was married for over a decade and a half, 16 years of marriage. So what I'm saying today, I understand it in practice. I remember at the early stage of our relationship with my then wife, one thing that I was avoiding was that she was always inviting people to our home. I mean, a lot of people to our home, very often. And if a time comes, it started causing distraction. I started feeling very uncomfortable because there is no privacy at all at home. But I could not address it because I know if I address it, she might get upset. Our marriage was still so early, so I don't want to cause a distraction. I just want to focus on the romance part of the marriage, and that was a serious mistake. But as time goes on, I was feeling very uncomfortable, and I addressed it. It was a problem. It caused a little bit of, argument and all, but later it was later resolved, and the number of people coming home was reduced. So we have at least private time for ourselves. So if you just, and one thing that I explained then is that every little thing make me angry. I get upset for a little thing. I'm not really getting upset of what happened. I upset because of the resentment that I've been building up along the line. So it builds up resentment, and that is not good for a marriage. As time goes on, that resentment can lead to gradual split of that relationship. You started not comfortable with yourself, going forward. So building resentment is as a result of avoiding conflict in marriage is something that we shouldn't experience. And two, communication breakdown. Yes. Let me just say this. If you are avoiding discussing difficult things, what you actually doing, you actually break it down the communication. Failure to discuss difficult things in marriage is actually failing to interact, and that leads to breakdown of communication in that marriage. That is the second consequences of avoiding conflicts in marriage. Because if you are avoiding things that you know is happening, just in my case, when we were receiving too many people in our home, I was avoiding it. You know it's happening and you are avoiding it. So it leads to some kind of a breakdown of communication, because you can't really communicate it to your partner that this thing is not right. So avoiding conflict lead to a breakdown of communication. And the most dangerous one, the last one is this, is that it emotionally disconnect the couple. Disconnect emotionally, or emotionally disconnection, or emotional disconnection. I don't know the best way to put it. One thing I will tell you today is that emotional disconnection is the secret way a marriage gets destroyed. It's a secret weapon of destroying marriage. Emotional disconnection. When you and your partner are no longer on the same page, there is no hope for that marriage. So avoiding conflict can lead to emotional disconnection. So that is one of the reasons why avoiding conflict in marriage is never a good strategy. Let me just say this. Many studies that I have known show that a good marriage addressing conflict head on can lead to a healthier, more successful, more romantic, and more sustained marriage. When you address your conflict head on, it can lead to even good communication. It can lead to good emotional connection. It can lead to a good atmosphere whereby everyone is free to interact to each other, because you address that conflict, you confront it, and you address it, you sort it out. It brings couple together when you do that. So avoiding conflict in your relationship is never a good idea. If you're in that position today, you better begin to speak out and address it if you want that your marriage to be for lifetime. Conflict is not the problem. The problem is that one, refusing to address it, and two, how you address it. That is the problem. Conflict can actually bring growth in your relationship. If when conflict occur, then you address it, you talk about it, you confront it head on, it can actually lead to growth in your relationship. Conflict can lead to growth in your relationship. So don't avoiding it is never a good idea. So that is just what I want to discuss today, because what happened to me at the beginning of my marriage tells me that if you'd try to dodge or try to keep a blank eyes on things that are matter because they are difficult issue to deal with, what you are saying to yourself is that I am not capable of solving problem. And marriage, by definition, most of the time is about solving problem. So you got to be prepared to do that. So, well, that is just a short today. I want to make this video as short as I can, just to let anyone out there to know that, look, if you are going through something in your life today, you're married, I was there for 16 years and I understand that. Don't leave any stone unturned. Just address it. If it backfire, I mean, it's not meant to be, but at least you try. But don't just let it there. Don't let it build up. When it build up, it will come to a level that is out of control, and that is not a place you would like to be. So if you benefit anything from this video, this is the end of the video today. If you benefit anything, please subscribe, turn on the notification. Please comment on the video. Tell me what you are experiencing. If you are in marriage, or if your brother, your uncle, or even your sister in marriage, tell me what they are, how they are confronting their conflicts, how they are addressing their differences. It's very important. That is what I want to see that on your comment. I'm looking forward to that. And then until then, as I always say, take care of yourself and each other.